We are gathered here today to sip some tea, honey, so make sure you guys have your teacups ready because this tea is what? Piping hot. Hey, you guys, it's your girl T, and I hope everybody's doing good today. Make sure you guys have your teacups ready.
Get ready. Y'all get ready.
Yes, you get ready.
Because this tea is what? Piping hot. Good morning, you guys. I hope you guys are doing good. So I want to come on here and talk about this whole Dr. Umar fiasco. So if you guys don't know, yesterday he was trending all over Twitter. So this is a trending topic. That's the only reason why I'm discussing it. But he was trending on Twitter. And the reason why he was trending is because basically he posted a notice on his Instagram and Facebook page letting people know that he's on his final tour and that basically he's been summoned before the courts to come and defend his psychology degree and his licensing. So he took to social media and this is what he posted. He posted Ify Tunde versus the state, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, the Department of State before the State Board of Psychology. Basically, he's showing a summons of them summoning him to court. And this is what he wrote. He says, I have been ordered to stand trial in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania on January 8th, 2018 before the Board of Psychology to be stripped of my school psychology credentials as a result of constant complaints from members of my race pleading to the white man via the phone and mail to bring an end to my professional career. You ridiculous ingrates have achieved your goal. Then he goes on to say, sometimes I ask myself, why did I start this campaign? I'm ready to return all the donations and move to Africa. In an effort to give our boys a school they deserve, I've had countless coons constantly harass white people in the power structure until they've decided to strip me of my credentials, arrest my funds, audit me. Hundreds of phone calls to my degree-granting institutions harassing them about my credentials. The same questions over and over again on every radio show, countless social media jokes, and campaigns to diminish the credibility of one black man parents can count on to assist for free with saving their children from the mental health and miseducation systems. This is the thanks I get for helping save a generation of black boys. On top of all the betrayals, I've had my own father join in the fun. This Kwanzaa tour will be my farewell conscious community tour for a while. I'm taking a break from social network as well. I need to take care of me now. I will keep pushing for the school until my detractors successfully kill that campaign also. Whether we succeed or fail, just know that my intentions were honorable and I tried my best. This is another victory for the mentally enslaved. So that's what he wrote on social media. And of course, a lot of people were happy. They even started a hashtag called Dr. Umar's delicensing party. It was a lot of back and forth on social media. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys some of the comments, the tweets, and what people were posting. Check this out, and I'm going to come back with the rest of my commentary. All right, so you guys just saw the comments, the tweets, and what some people had to say. So now my thing is this: a lot of people say this man does not have a license. He's practicing fraudulently. But if you're going to have a hashtag called Dr. Umar's delicensing party, is that not an oxymoron? Because the hashtag itself is stating that you admit that in order for him to have a delicensing party, he has to have had a license. So that hashtag was just stupid. Now, this is my thought on this entire thing. A lot of things bother me with this situation, okay? First of all, let's go back to 2015 when he had the whole issue with the conscious stripper. I was probably one of the few big YouTubers who did not talk about that situation. I did not feel the need to get hits off of the situation because I felt like there wasn't enough information. But a lot of black male YouTubers jumped on the story. They talked about it. And I, for one, I was real disappointed in Umar because I felt like he talks so much about what people should do as far as in the bedroom and having, being sexually responsible and women carrying themselves a certain way, only for this doctor who had built up this reputation, even was telling Roland Martin at that time that he was celibate, only for it to come out that he was not celibate, but that he was also smashing a stripper who wore a blonde weave and who wore everything that this man denounced in public. So that made me really disappointed in him. But I chose not to do a video on it. I chose not to speak about this situation. I'm like, you know what? What he's trying to do for the community is even bigger than that. So I'm not even going to get involved in that. But, a lot of things since then has just struck me, wrong with Dr. Umar and his actions. I did speak on the whole situation with him and Seti when he decided to go WWF and he was going off and cursing. And it seems like his demeanor has definitely changed over the past few years. He doesn't know if he wants to be this hood dude from Philly or if he wants to be like, this professional professor. And so, even with that being said, I won't take away anything from him. And when he's done good work, I've had his back, just like with the whole Roland Martin situation when he was on there talking about interracial marriage. And in that video, I definitely had his back. So I can definitely be unbiased and I can be fair when it comes to Dr. Umar and his actions. Something just does not sit well with me with this whole story. First of all, this post does not sound like the language of somebody who's being responsible. And when you're being summoned to court, this is not how a responsible adult deals with that. The fact that he's posting up paperwork and the fact that he's saying all of this, it really bothers me. And also, this is the second time that he's thrown his own people under the bus without a whole lot of proof. Case in point, let me go back to the whole conscious stripper situation. Now, when that situation came to light with the whole Kim Ringgold situation, aka the conscious stripper, she stated that Umar Johnson was the one who gave her that name. But when that came to light, he took no personal responsibility and basically used this woman for sex and home cooked meals. Even the text messages that she posted on Kissy Denise were very flippant. They were always of a sexual nature. When she would try and have a real conversation with him, he always led it back to sex. But what bothered me in all that is that he claimed that because of this conscious stripper situation, it caused him to lose donations. And once again, he didn't take any personal responsibility. He basically went in on her. And this is what he wrote at the time. He stated, the only reason I'm divulging this information is because a supporter of mine who supports the FDMG campaign, who has been working tirelessly to bring my work to the attention of their NBA superstar cousin, had finally made roads. And the superstar's charity was scheduled to meet and discuss my FDMG campaign this week. The donation amount that I was informed directly from a board member was to get $1 million. The $1 million would have allowed us to either acquire a Christian college in the South or with the fundraiser donations already in hand, put us extremely close to matching the $2 million price tag on St. Paul's if the government didn't buy it first. However, it all crumbled Wednesday while I was in D.C. as I was preparing to begin my workshop with the juveniles and their parents. The email I was waiting for from the NBA Superstars charity board member came through and said, I was planning on giving him the okay to support you in the amount of $1 million. However, I went online to do some research on you and saw that you were in the center of a scandal involving a stripper. He cannot be associated with that type of drama, and regrettably, we cannot move forward with the donation. Then he goes on to say, my heart dropped and my stomach curled. I don't know how I managed to get out of that chair to offer my workshop. I don't think I've ever felt pain in my stomach like that before. We have had money in our hands, but my careless association with a tramp disguised as a queen may have cost me my dream, but she's still not done. Multiple videos, multiple false tweets, Instagrams have now left me no choice but to take care of the situation myself. After all, it's my fault. Tim Ringwald, the conscious stripper, went on to say that he was lying, and basically he put out that fake story about him losing the donations in an effort to incite violence and ridicule towards her. So that's what she stated on social media. I never once bought that story. I feel like Umar Johnson made that story up to deflect, and because he said that, it caused such a divide in this so-called conscious community where you had a bunch of black men going at black women and saying, black women are the devils, and look, another black woman brings down a black man. It caused so much chaos. So many just disgusting videos were put out blaming all black women for the decisions of Umar Johnson and this woman, okay? First of all, he's not that popular or well known that when you Googled that story, that was his first story that came up around that time. And second of all, people in the NBA have been involved in all types of bullshit, from murders to impregnating multiple women to being deadbeat fathers to cheating scandals. All types of stuff have been involved with NBA players. But somehow when it comes to Umar Johnson, his scandal is so bad that they decide not to donate. So you mean to tell me that this NBA player who's a black man could not see it in his heart, could not see the big picture and say, you know what? I don't care about the whole stripper situation. It's about the children. It's about these black boys. You mean to tell me that another black man could not see in his heart to go forward with the donations? So in my heart of hearts, I felt like what he was saying back then was complete and utter bullshit. I don't feel like there was ever $1 million on the table. I felt like he was trying to deflect. And in that deflection, it caused such a big divide in their community, because I'm not a part of the conscious community. But in their community, there was so many just horrible videos online. It was another way to make black women look bad and, more gender wars bullshit. And once again, I feel like he's taken the same route with this whole situation about him getting his credentials stripped. Now, first of all, he's claiming that he's been ordered to go to court. There's nothing in that notice. He posted the notice. It's about 2 or 3 pages. There's nothing in that notice stating what he needs to bring to court, stating what they need to see, and there's nothing stating that they were planning on stripping him of his credentials. My thing is, if you went to school and you worked hard to get a degree or get a license, you're always going to have haters. You're always going to have people who don't like you. Hell, I too have haters, and fuck them. You know what I'm saying? You're always going to have people who don't like you, but if it was that easy, a lot of people would lose their licenses. They can't just take your degree that you worked hard for. They can't just take that from you because a few people don't like you or because a few people don't believe in your vision. That doesn't sound right. I've never heard of a school being able to strip somebody of something based on phone calls. There has to be more to the story. There has to be more proof that they found of some type of fraudulent activity or something going on before they can just strip this man of what he's worked so hard to build. Another thing that bothers me, and why this reminds me of that whole 2015 rant, is that he goes on to automatically blame people of his race and saying that it's black people and they're ingrates and things like that. He even throws his father under the bus, and I saw the video of his father talking about him one time, and he always claimed that his father was a military man, very, very disciplined, and the guy that I saw who was Umar Johnson's father, he did not carry himself as a military man or as somebody who was very disciplined. I don't see why a military man, and if you're doing the right work, why he would go and talk about his child to the blogs. So that kind of never sat well with me either when I saw his father online talking about him, because it's like, if your own father doesn't have your back, what's really going on? But my thing is this, for this man to be so conscious and for this man to be a leader of y'all's community, what I find curious is why is he so quick to blame regular black people on his supposed demise as opposed to blaming the FBI? Dr. Umar makes a lot of good points. And like I said before, he's been blessed with the skills of a good orator. He speaks very well. He's very articulate. And I'd be lying if I said I've never learned anything from him. I've learned a lot of things from him. He's spoken truth to power on a lot of different situations. But he's also said a lot of things, too, that have rubbed, I would think, the powers that be the wrong way. Even about 2 months ago, he got in trouble because he was insinuating that people should assassinate, or he was insinuating that people should shoot or kill the police. So much so that he was not allowed to speak on the campus of a North Carolina college. And here goes the news article right here. You can check that out. So now this was just a few months ago. So to me, in my mind, it would make more sense that the FBI or somebody higher up is trying to stop this man before I look at it as just being regular black people. So that's what kind of bothers me is that, people claim to be pro-black, but as soon as something happens that they don't like, the first thing that they want to do is blame black people and say that it's black people's fault and black people threw them under the bus. The whole situation just makes no sense. And it makes no sense to be in a position of leadership and power and to accuse people without proof. He doesn't know that it was all black people that was supposedly calling the schools. It could have been very well be white people. It could have very well been the government saying, shut this man down. But he chose to blame black people. And what this has done now online is cause another divide, just like what happened in 2015 with the whole conscious stripper situation. Now you have the so-called Hotep or conscious community going back and forth with other black people. You have people calling each other coons and, just it's a bunch of beef in these Umar Johnson hashtags and people cursing each other out on Facebook behind this situation. So now it's causing more of a divide in the black community because of what this man has stated. And the whole situation is just really, really unfortunate. So now one thing I also noticed is that a lot of people were saying that they want to go to the court hearing. One woman was talking about coming in from England and coming to support him on January 8th. A lot of people want to know where, the court and the proceedings were going to be held. And so people started researching and trying to find out information. And then I was noticing that people were posting online that when they went to go look up the docket number, nothing was coming up. So not only did I see comments on Facebook like the one I'm pointing out where people said they went to look up the docket number and nothing came up, I also saw people saying the same thing on Twitter. So I'm not sure why the file or docket number is not coming up. Maybe he didn't put a real docket number on there to protect himself because he doesn't want people showing up. But just everything, just the way this was presented, it just comes off as just weird to me. And I had to really sit and think about, what would be his reason for presenting all of this and for saying all of this on social media? Is there a bigger reason why he's putting this all out there? And then I had to think to myself, well, why would he be doing this? Why would he come out and say any of this? And then it kind of clicked. He also made a comment in his rant where he's saying, this Kwanzaa tour will be my farewell conscious community tour for a while. I'm taking a break from social networks as well. I need to take care of me now. I will keep pushing for the school until my detractors successfully kill that campaign also. Whether we succeed or fail, just know my intentions were honorable and I tried my best. So that didn't sit well with me either. It's almost like he's putting all this out there because the deadline for the school is coming up. I think he noted it on the Breakfast Club. He noted on some interview, and he stated that the school will be open, I believe, August of 2018, which, it sounds like it's far away because we just left August, but so much can happen in less than a year. And I honestly think that at this point in time, it's now 2017. This man has been working on building the school for the past few years. And I honestly think that possibly he bit off more than he can chew. So I think maybe the possible reason why he's coming out with this is that he's realizing that this is a big task. It's very daunting. And he has honestly not wanted help from anybody. Many people have reached out to him wanting to work with him, wanting to be a part of this. And he wants to do everything himself. And when you're doing something as big as building a school, you can't do it all yourself. No one man can do anything themselves. And I think where he messed up is not incorporating other black leaders or other black people to help him with this school. He just wants the glory and the shine for saying that Umar Johnson built this school. And I think at this point in time, it's not going to be built, honestly, by August. And I think that it's just too much on his plate, and it's starting to stress this man out. And so what better way than to start, warning people that this may not happen than by putting this up saying that he has to go to court on his credentials. So then that way, once this goes through and he can come and say, oh, they stripped him of his license, so now he's not going to be able to finish building the school. I really feel like this is where this is leading to. I feel like this is more about the school than even his so-called credentials being stripped from him. Something about this whole situation just stinks, and it's sad because what he posted made a lot of black men feel defeatist. I've seen a lot of videos of black men being like, oh, here we go again. The black man has it so hard, and once again, the black community is turning on itself, and, look how black people do, and oh, woe is me. And it's really sad because it's given a lot of black men this defeatist attitude. Like if Umar Johnson can't make it and he's supposed to be like a leader, then, who am I? Then I too can't make it. I too can't fulfill my goals. And that's what I'm seeing in a lot of these comments. And I think that's sad. I don't think that you should ever take one person's failure or whatever they're going through. You should never internalize that and say that because this person can't do it, you can't either. You need to take that and learn from that. You don't internalize it. You do that to not make the same mistakes. You learn from other people's failures and other people's mistakes, so that way you're not destined to repeat them. I've told you guys that on this channel many times. So I don't know, this whole situation just sounds really, really crazy to me, that supposedly, the board can even have that much power to strip somebody of their degree and their credentials that they work so hard for. That sounds odd. And then the fact that people are saying, that when they go to put in this information, nothing is coming up online. So I don't know what he's trying to pull. And then shortly after he posted that, he also posted a letter from GoFundMe where it says, hello, doctor. And it doesn't even have his name, which is just odd. And it just says, hello, DR. We have not received a response from you regarding our last message. Please address the following within 48 hours to avoid removal of your account. Please know that this isn't an attack on you, but to make sure that the funds raised on GoFundMe are used in line with the purpose of your campaign. Additionally, our team is here to work with you to prove the validity of your campaign, and your cooperation is appreciated. Please note that GoFundMe may request evidence from you if we feel it is needed to ensure that your campaign is in line with our terms. You may read about more here. And so he wrote, Ifi Tunde versus estate, GoFundMe will be suspending our account in 48 hours. And that letter from GoFundMe, even that letter sounds suspicious. Like why would GoFundMe address him as just doctor, but not his name? Not say Dr. Umar or say, Ifi Tunde. Why would they just write hello, DR? And then on top of that, why would GoFundMe say that this isn't an attack on you? Like, that doesn't sound like words that a corporation would use. Why would they assume that it's an attack on him? Why would they not just say that, we just need more information for verification purposes? So I don't know. That just doesn't sound right to me. It just sounds like he's putting all of this together so that way if this school isn't built, there's a reason for it to not be built. And even now, when you go onto his GoFundMe, it's been over 48 hours since he posted that, and his GoFundMe is still up. He posted that on the 21st. Today is the 23rd. And if you go to GoFundMe, his campaign is still up. He's made over $400,000. His goal steadily keeps going up. Initially it was $1 million. Now it's up to $4 million. So over 10,000 people have helped him, and they want to see this school come to fruition. And so I don't know what's going on. I just think maybe he's bit off more than he can chew. And, maybe he's tired of it. Maybe he's tired of all the questions and people not fully supporting him and him being attacked. But he's also bought some of this on himself as well. And he has to take responsibility for that. But at the end of the day, Umar Johnson didn't put a gun to my head or to anybody's head who donated to his campaign. Like, let's keep it real. People donated on their own free will. So you can't say that he scammed people when people chose to donate and they chose to send him money. hopefully, I think with the amount that he has, that's a really good start. And maybe it's not feasible for him to have a brick and mortar school right now for him to buy an entire school. Maybe he can start small. And I know that's what a lot of people have been telling him. Start small. Maybe start with just, 100 students instead of 1,000 or 2,000 students, and get like, a regular school, or get like a regular building, as opposed to like this huge school that he's imagining. Start small, crawl before you run. And I think if he would do that, that would make him feel a lot better, and that'd make a lot of people feel a lot better as well. But I think because of his ego, it's not going to allow him to do that, because he wants this huge grandioso school that he has envisioned, but I don't know if that's going to come to fruition. So this entire situation is really interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how all this plays out. But again, me personally, I'm not going to celebrate or attend some Umar Johnson delicensing party. I'm not going to celebrate or go back and forth with other black people about the supposed demise of a black man. I don't find that cute. And like I said, the whole delicensing party is stupid, because if a lot of y'all don't believe that he has a license in the first place, then what is there to delicense? You get what I'm saying? So it just comes off as kind of just immature and childish. Me personally, I'm going to just sit back, see how all this plays out. But something is just not clean with this whole story. And he's just done a lot of things in the past few years that have just made me give him the side eye. I hope he ends up building the school, August of this year. I know they've been working hard to bring it to fruition, and hopefully it'll come to fruition. But I think maybe he's going through a lot. But again, he's not the only one. Anytime you put yourself out there in the public, especially when you're trying to be a leader, you're going to get backlash. You're going to have haters. You're going to have detractors. Everyone has to deal with that. I don't care if you're a celebrity, a YouTuber, somebody in the conscious community. You're always going to have people who don't like you or who don't like what you stand for. But at the end of the day, if you really love something and it's your calling and it's something that you truly enjoy, you got to shake off the haters and just keep on doing what it is that you do. So like I said, hopefully all of this will be cleared up. But again, I'm not going to sit here and celebrate in the supposed demise of somebody. But I'm also not going to sit here and wallow in sorrow or blame black people for the demise of this man. Because honestly, we really don't know what's going on. We only know what we're being told. And who's to say that that's 100% the truth? So it's going to be interesting to see how all this plays out. So let's go ahead and try and have a mature discussion about this. If you're just coming on here to be negative, I'm just going to block people. Y'all know I have been really free with my block button lately. If you're saying some straight up bullshit and it has nothing to do with the topic, or you're just coming on here to be rude and nasty, because I don't think I was rude or nasty in this video whatsoever. I'm just pointing out things I've noticed in my personal opinion. And if you can't handle that, then unsubscribe and keep it pushing. Thank you. So let's go ahead and get the discussion popping. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that like button. And make sure you click that bell so you can be down with the notification squad, honey. So let's go ahead and get the discussion popping. Go ahead and leave a comment. All right. Deuces. Hey you guys, it's your girl T. Make sure to subscribe, like, and share my videos. You can also visit Lovelyti.com to purchase any merchandise. Also, don't forget to click the boxes down below to watch any of my previous videos. Talk to y'all later. Deuces.